Hey there. So I want to talk to you about values, knowing your values, and I'm going to use a story. I haven't told this story in a while. I've used this story to teach this point in many contexts, but never just standing by itself. So I want to tell you a story about my wife and our two children and their birthdays. So my oldest son Sean, on his birthday, and I believe it was his fifth birthday. I haven't told the story in so long, I've got to check with my wife and find out what year it was. I believe it was the fifth birthday that he came downstairs and my wife said, Sean, no, it was his fourth. It was his fourth. And my wife said, Sean, today I'm going to teach you how to make your bed. And she took him upstairs to his bedroom and she showed him how to make the bed. And she took the pillow off the bed and she pulled the top sheet up and smoothed it out and folded it back a little bit, and she put the pillow on top of it and she pulled the quilt up over the pillow, and she made that little crease under the pillow so it looked like the pillow was kind of sitting on its own there, and it was all nice and neat and everything was pulled tight. And she said, Sean, tomorrow you get to make your own bed. And the next day Sean gets up and he comes down for breakfast, and my wife says, Sean, did you make your bed? He said, no. And she goes, let's go make it. And she lets him make it. And he throws the pillow on the floor and he yanks up the top sheet and he goes to put the pillow back. Well, I says, no. You got to make it look neat. She showed him again how to pull it tight, but he was doing it this time. And he pulls his blanket up and it's still not quite there, and he throws the pillow under it at the last minute, and you've got this lump under the blanket for where the pillow is. And he says, no, Sean, you got to make that little line with the quilt, and shows him how to do it and everything. And the next day it's pretty much the same thing, and day after that it's pretty much the same thing, and then he wouldn't make it one day and they would argue about it, and it became a battle. For the whole time he lived in our house before he got married, moved out on his own, he struggled with that, getting the bed made right. Well, we have another son who witnessed some of this as a small child but didn't really take it all in. And on his fourth birthday, my wife said, Eric, today's the day you're going to learn to make your bed. And he kind of grumbled. She went upstairs and he was watching my wife as she pulls the top sheet over and smooths it all out and folds the top sheet back and makes it nice and neat and puts the pillow on top and pulls up the quilt and makes that line and folds the quilt back over the top of the pillow so the pillow's resting, kind of floating there. And my son's just kind of looking at her cynically. And she says to him, Eric, tomorrow you get to make this bed on your own. That was the very last time that Eric slept under the covers when he lived at our house. He never had to make that bed. He never got under the covers. He never messed it up. He had to honor my wife's value of having a neatly made bed. But his value is one of laziness. He valued not having to do the work. And he wasn't going to get into the conflict that his older brother got into every day. So he just slept on top of the covers. There was a different value set between my wife and my son. A very different value set. But they knew what their values were. My wife at 4 years old, you're making your own bed. And I go into a hotel today, and when the maid comes through, she sees a made bed, because my wife and I wasn't like that before I got married. I adopted her value to make her happy. Making her happy wasn't either one of my son's values. It was mine. My older son just wanted to be oblivious to it and go about his business, and so he got into conflict. My younger son's value was, what's my time worth? I don't want to spend my time making this bed. It's easier for me to sleep on top of it. Do you know what your values are? Do you know how you would approach that situation if you had to do something that didn't mean that much to you? Are you going to just slough it off and create conflict, or are you going to find a creative way around it? We're all wired a little bit differently, and we all might handle that differently. But those events inform us of who we are. So it's important to know our values. I hope this helps. Have a great, great, great day.